So we just finished up talking a bit about marriage, and here we are moving along in Ephesians chapter 6 now. And Paul's going to get into some more family matters. In Ephesians 6, 1-4, it says, "Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother, which is the first commandment, with a promise, that it may be well with you, and you may live long on the earth. And you, fathers, do not provoke your children to wrath, but bring them up in the training and admonition of the Lord." In Proverbs 13:1, it says, "A wise child accepts a parent's discipline. A mocker refuses to listen to correction." So a parent must teach a child for a child to be obedient. It's just not going to happen. They just don't grow up obedient. I mean, there's always some children, it seems like it were easy to bring up in obedience, and others, you just really had to struggle. In Proverbs 22:6, it says, "Train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it." In Proverbs 22:15, it says, "A youngster's heart is filled with foolishness, but physical discipline will drive it far away." So each one of us are to do our best to bring up a child in the admonition of the Lord. When a child grows older, they're not under the discipline of the parent, but they're able to continue to honor their father and mother. It doesn't say, well, stop honoring them because you're not under their discipline anymore, but we are to honor them. It's part of the Ten Commandments. In Deuteronomy 5:16, it says, "Honor your father and your mother as the Lord your God commanded you, that your days may be long, and that it may go well with you in the land that the Lord your God is giving you." Fathers are to be involved in raising their children. Fathers are to train up a child in the ways to go. It's not just the mother's job, but it's both parents. And fathers are to teach their children how to live for the Lord. So many times today it's the mothers and the fathers are off, I don't know what they're doing, but I thank God for every family I run across, and I see the fathers involved in training up their children to be obedient to the things of God. And fathers aren't to provoke their children. They can be admonished to a point where they don't listen anymore. They can be disciplined to the point where they don't feel like they can succeed. Parents are God's instrument to bring forth fruit in their children. A child will give up when the father demands more than the child's able to give. Sometimes a father is never satisfied with the child's accomplishments. Sometimes they're oversatisfied. They don't want them to do so well, so they discourage them. But they need to be encouraged. In everything we do, we want to encourage our children to draw close to God, to see the benefits that serving the Lord is, and that God is real, He's alive, and He cares about them. Broken, divorced families, they have a hard time training up a child in the ways of the Lord. Whether it's a father or a mother, any single parent, it's very difficult. Remarriages, even more complex. Children, they just say, well, that's not my mom, and that's not my dad. And so there's a very difficult time. That's why God desires us to stay in that one unit. But sometimes it's not possible. And again, all we can do is the best we can do to direct our children to the ways of God. Ephesians 6:5-9. "Bondservants, obey your earthly masters with fear and trembling, with a sincere heart as you would Christ, not by the way of eye service as people pleasers, but as bondservants of Christ, doing the will of God from the heart, rendering service with a good will as to the Lord, and not to man, knowing that whatever good anyone does, this he will receive back from the Lord, whether he is a bondservant or is free. Masters, do the same to them, and stop your threatening, knowing that he who is both their master and yours is in heaven, and that there is no partiality with him." I'm sure you've all run into those people that just like to tickle the boss's ears, you know. They're not really interested in working, but they know if they can keep their boss interested in their conversation and tell them how wonderful they are and so on and so forth, they don't really have to do a lot of work, and they'll let the other people do the work for them. But God is calling us to be sincere in our business with others. Whether one is watching you work or left you on your own, your accomplishments for that person or business shouldn't change. We're actually, when we're doing our work, to be a good testimony, we're doing it to the Lord. Maybe you think you're pleasing some individual and you're not interested in anything but pleasing that individual because that's your boss. Well, you are to please them, but you're pleasing the Lord. If you put God first and say, God, I'm trying to please you in this job that I'm doing, that I've been given to do, that boss is going to be pleased. And if he's not, he needs to become a believer. And God, he's not blind to injustice done by those who have authority over others. In James chapter 5, verse 1 and verse 4 and 5, it says, Come now, you rich, weep and howl for the miseries that are coming upon you. Behold, the wages of the laborers who mowed your fields, which you kept back by fraud, are crying out against you. And the cries of the harvesters have reached the ears of the Lord of hosts. You have lived on earth in luxury and in self-indulgence. You have fattened your hearts in a day of slaughter. People aren't going to get away with mistreating those that work for them. We're to be living a righteous life and avoid misery that could come upon us because of our greed. The Bible tells us what we sow, we reap. The world says what goes around comes around. So even the world knows that repercussions come to those who treat others unjustly. In Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10 and 11, it says, Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. The first thing Paul's admonishing us to do is to be strong in the Lord. David, he had a situation where the enemy had come in and taken his family, taken all those who fought with him, their families, and run off with them. And David was in distress. And it says in 1 Samuel 36, David was greatly distressed because the men were talking of stoning him. Each one was bitter in spirit because of his sons and daughters. But David found strength in the Lord his God. Well, these people had a right to be bitter of what had taken place, but they were taking it out on the wrong person. And David, he found his strength in the Lord his God, and he got these guys together. They went off and got all their family back and more. The Lord God Almighty spoke to Joshua. In Joshua 1:9, it says, Have I not commanded you, be strong and of good courage? Do not be afraid, nor be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. He says, be of good courage. He didn't just say be courageous. But what is good courage? Good courage is trusting in the power of his might and not our own. For us to use the power in our muscles and our might, we have to build them up. We have to, maybe today you'd be at a gym lifting some weights, maybe you're riding a bike. Whatever you're doing, you're getting stronger. And the stronger you get, the more you can lift, the more you can exercise, the more you can endure. And we want to be strong in the Lord in the same way. The stronger we are in the Lord, the more we can do. We must recognize we're in a battle here. The enemy wants to destroy all of God's people. And we're in a battle against spiritual wickedness. And we need to be empowered with the strength of God, that we might have the power to overcome. And we overcome by the blood of the Lamb, don't we? If we're going to work in the Lord's army, we need to put on the armor he supplies. My armor just doesn't work. It's going to fail me every time. We're commanded not to just put on what we think we need at the time. Oh, I need a little breastplate today, and tomorrow I'll just take my shield. That's all I need. No, God, we've got to put on the whole armor of God and keep it on. Without this armor, we can't stand against the schemes and the strategies the devil has. In Isaiah 59:17, it says, For he put on righteousness as a breastplate, and a helmet of salvation on his head. He put on the garments of vengeance for clothing, and was clad with zeal as a cloak. But because of what Jesus has done for us, we're privileged to wear the armor of God. We can enter right in and put on God's armor. Ephesians 6:12 and 13 says, For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places. Therefore, take up the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. So we're to pray against those powers and principalities that are working in these people's lives. It was men that crucified Jesus. It was men that cried out, "Crucify him, crucify him." But it was the spiritual host of wickedness driving these people. The real battle is against those wicked principalities and powers. They're stirring up people to destroy God's people. 2 Corinthians 10 verse 3 says, "For though we walk in the flesh, we are not waging war according to the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not of the flesh, but have divine power to destroy strongholds." It's those strongholds that we want to destroy. And the weapons of God are able to bring them down. You bring down the stronghold, you can bring down the enemy. Our victory is rooted in what Jesus has done and not what we can do. In Colossians 2:14 and 15, it says, "He canceled the record of the charges against us and took it away by nailing it to the cross. In this way, he disarmed the spiritual rulers and authorities. He shamed them publicly by his victory over them on the cross." So we are to take what Jesus has done and use it to defeat the forces of darkness. Because of what Jesus has done, we can be effective if we put on the whole armor of God. Without this armor, we can't stand against the enemy of our souls. We're going to be attacked. There's no question about the attack. It's coming. If it hasn't been attacked, you need to get born again. You'll find out you're going to be attacked. So we must take courage and don't let fear be our guide. Jesus destroyed the works of the devil on the cross, and we're continuing that work to destroy the works of the devil until every soul that will be saved gets saved. We're not those who retreat, but those who destroy the strongholds of the devil.